Hi there, welcome. My name is Arwen Brooke, and today we're going to do a Pilates class that in theory requires no props at all, but we are going to play with a couple of household items. If you have them available, we're going to use a couple of cans. These are 2 cans of cut green beans, and the important thing is that they match and are equal in weight. If you have hand weights at home, you can use those as well. There's a few moments that we're going to use our cans in a rolling fashion, and for that they won't work as well. But just know that if you don't have cans or weights, you can still do this class and have a great time. All right, let's begin. Welcome. So, as I already mentioned, we are going to be playing with weights this morning, and I invite you to use soup cans if you don't have anything else. And the most important thing is that they match, or at least that they weigh the same amount and are the same size. And then just know that at any point in the workout, if what we're doing with the cans doesn't feel great, you can just set them down and do all of this without anything in your hands at all. It's totally okay. And sometimes our shoulders will ask for that, and we're going to listen, okay? So you're just going to start standing and allow your arms to rest at your sides with your weights in your hands. And then what we'll do is just start to move the shoulders a little bit up and down. And feel into the work of the lift, and then feel into the ease of the letting go, right? So we can kind of work through both, but right now we're trying to shift our effort so that we're really consciously connecting and then consciously letting go, as opposed to just kind of bouncing around in space. Okay, and then we'll circle the shoulders, and this can get big and gooey or small and mindful, or anywhere in between. And the added weight is not feeling like a whole lot just yet. It's just kind of a nice kind of anchor in the arms. And then let's do one more shrug up, hold at the top, and then soften down. Okay, and then turn your palms out, and we'll take an inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms up, and then open and release back down. And stretch. And exhale, lower. And again. One more time up. And this time you're going to open and hold at the sides. So this is where it's going to start to feel like more. And if you feel like you need to set the weights down, go ahead and do that. What we'll do is we'll spin one arm internally, can rotating down, and then switch, doing our little spiral through the limbs, and then let it get a little bit bigger, rolling the shoulder forward on the arm, rolling internally, and then let your rib cage get a little bit more involved. Go ahead and glide side to side, yeah, and reach in the direction of the palm facing up. And then we're going to try to add something in high. So we're using soup cans or weights this morning. You're going to take your arms into that twist and then bend the elbows. Wherever they are, doesn't matter. Open, reach, and bend. And open, reach, and bend. As you do this, your knees might be soft to help give you a little bit more freedom to move. Let this be kind of organic. Imagine you have like octopus arms, and they can just flow and swirl through the air. Yeah, feels like something, yeah? And then lengthen the arms, reach them up to the sky, look up at your cans, look up at your weights, and then circle the arms around and down by your sides. Couple of shrugs, loosening up what worked, and then we're going to move into some squats. I'm going to turn to the side for your best viewing. You can stay as you are. We're going to reach the cans forward and then right back up and fold and stand tall. Now we've talked about this before, but we want to make sure we stand all the way upright each and every time. Push down through the earth, because if we're not here for the benefits in our body after the class, we might be kind of missing something. But what we are is doing all these great things to help our posture. So you want to take every moment you're upright to try to infuse the good work into your posture. And this time we're going to hold here, and then float the arms slowly down by your sides and back. In this position, hold. You might bring your thumbs to the same side of the can as your other fingers, and then just reach, floating those arms back even more, finding your triceps. Maybe sit your sit bones a little lower, knees come forward, sit bones reach back, heart stretches open, low abdominals lift. And we'll go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach the arms forward and up, and we'll circle to the sides. Okay, and now same thing forward as we squat. We're going to bring the right arm back and then switch slowly. Reach and find that balance so that your body remains nice and sort of even keeled at the center of this swinging motion in your arms. And we breathe. And one more each direction. And then we'll finish with the arms forward and then roll into a forward bend. Let your hips lift and your hands lower. Your knees can be soft. Your head hanging heavy on the end of your spine. Give it a little shake. And then we'll walk both hands over to the right side, bending your right knee, stretching the left leg to straight. And then soften the left knee and walk your hands around to the left side. Keep the left leg soft, stretching the right leg towards straight. And then coming back to center. Let your head be heavy, give your knees a good deep bend, and exhale, curl back up to standing. At the top, roll your shoulders. And then we're going to take the arms into this same position we've been practicing in classes over the last few days. You're going to take your arms wide. You're going to have your left hand palm forward, right arm palm back. You're going to circle your arms around your body and then bend your elbows and sort of bring your cans towards one another behind your back. And then circle out to the sides, swivel, right palm up, left palm back. Bring your arms straight up and down, and then bend the elbows and bring your cans towards one another behind you. Okay? And we'll do that again. Open, spiral, reach, and bend. And reach, open, spiral, and bend. Okay? So your cans might not meet behind you, but if you can, try to encourage that. Both arms work to do that. The lifting arm from underneath is probably the most difficult. Letting the top can, the heavy can, help draw you into your tricep stretch. Okay, and one more time here. And then we'll open and hold. You're going to bring your arms forward, bring the back of the hands together as you flex the upper body. Inhale, lift the chest and let the arms stretch back. Exhale, flex and round. Inhale, lift and open. And 2 more. Let your arms be a little lower than shoulder height, so keep it real friendly. And then open. And then from here, we're going to flex and roll down again. Let your fingertips or the cans and the hands droop towards the mat. As you find your way into that position, I'm going to just adjust. We're going to set the cans to the sides of the mat, left and right, and a little out in front. And then you're going to bring your hands to the mat and walk them out into a downward dog. Finding that position, make your way into a really friendly version of downward dog. Let your shoulders slide down your back, sit bones lift up to the sky, and then stretch one heel towards the mat as you bend the opposite knee, and then switch. And we'll go ahead and do that a couple more times. Walking out some of that engagement and tightness in the feet and calves. Okay. And then from there, we're going to curl the tail under and roll forward into a plank. You can lower right to your knees or hold your plank as an extra sort of a warm up for your whole body. Lifting up out of the wrists and hands, hovering the abdominals in and up, shrugging the shoulders away from the ears, and one more breath. And then go ahead and lower the knees down. Take your hips back to your heels and rest into a child's pose. Let your chest come forward over your knees and your forehead down to the mat. Arms long. And then when you're ready, go ahead and curl the tail under and roll back up. We're going to bring the cans a little bit forward to the sides of the mat. From here, we're going to step the left foot forward between the cans and between the hands. Okay? And then you can rise up and find your way into this position here. You're going to drop the left sit bone down so as to level the hips. And then drawing your abdominals in, glutes engaged, we're going to bring our weight forward towards that front foot. Good. And then go ahead and breathe as you bring yourself forward, grabbing hold of your cans. Okay? So in this position, we're holding our stretch. The right hip is stretching forward. We're going to reach the arms up and then take your arms down and repeat, reaching up and lowering down. Go ahead, come on in and reach and lower. Go quietly. Thank you. And lower one more time up. Now you're going to take your left hand down with the can, and if it makes sense, you might find the mat with it, and side bend over to the left. I know. Go ahead. Call me when you're done. And then stretching, bring the left arm back up to the top, lower the arms down, bring your cans to the mat alongside your front foot, or even back a little bit, and you're going to straighten your left leg and flex your foot, bringing your toes back. Reach your hips back and your chest forward. What is it? And then we're going to move between these two positions. You're going to rock forward. The cans can come with you. As you reach your hips forward, lift your chest. And then rock the hips back, moving your cans for some support. And again, rocking forward, lift your chest, shoulders down. So the cans are kind of giving us a little bit of extra access to support, so that we can be upright rather than trying to reach the mat and rounding our shoulders to do so. And same here in the hamstring stretch. Drop your shoulders and see if you can become more easeful in the neck through the help of this little extra lift under your hands. Okay, and then we'll just come forward enough to reset, move your cans out of the way, and we'll take the left leg back. Before we go on to the other side, we're going to take the right can in our hand and set up for thread the needle. So you're going to start with the right can on the mat in front of you, and then pull it in and up across your chest and open to the sky. Lift it up, look up towards that can, and then thread the needle. Reach your arm under and don't let it rest on the mat this first time. You're going to reach it and hover the arm and can and the ear and the shoulder, and then pull it through and turn and lift it up. Good. And then let it cycle through that same movement again. Reach and twist, and then turn and open. And reach and twist and turn and open. On the last one, what we're going to do is bring the can under, set it on the mat to the outside of the left hand, and then place the back of your right hand on it and let it roll away from you as the arm is supported as you roll into your twist. So the back of the hand, back of the forearm is on the can, rolling away from you as you move into your twist. And then bring it back. Set it to the side of your mat. We'll start on the right side now, right foot forward into our lunge. So we'll come up first, drop the right sit bone down, using that to level the hips. and then tuck the tail under and bring your weight forward. Good. From here, you're going to find your cans and take them in your hands, this time with the palms up. You're going to reach your arms up to the sky. So there's an external rotation at the shoulder joint. You're going to try to maintain it all the way to the top, although it gets a little tougher at the top. Be kind to your shoulders. And again. And let's do one more. And then keep your arms to the sky. Bring your right arm down. And maybe your can reaches to the floor, maybe not. If it does, you're using it just to support you as you side bend over to the right. Otherwise, holding it in your hand, like so. And then circle both hands to the sky, and then lower them down. We're gonna bring the cans kind of just behind the right heel and rock back, dropping your right sit bone down and back. And rock forward. I should have said this already, but since we've done this all together before, just know that you can pad your left knee or your back knee to make this a little more friendly, because I know it is a lot of pressure on the knee, and for some that's not always pleasant. Okay, and a couple more times, flowing back and forth through the 2 stretches, these places offering your body some ease, both front of the hip and back. And oftentimes, you'll get one side that's tighter in the front and one side that's tighter in the back. That's very normal. And then we'll just bring ourselves from there, hands out of the way, step the right foot back. And now we'll do our thread the needle on the second side. So place your right hand on the mat under your shoulder, left hand holding that can, and then draw your arm up to the sky. Open your chest, look to the sky, look to your can, and then thread the needle and reach it under. Hovering the hand, hovering the ear, hovering the shoulder. Flowing again up and flowing under. And flowing up and flowing under. And then one more time, reaching up. This time, you'll set the can down on its side, a little log, and you'll place the back of your hand on it and let it support you as you roll a little deeper. Let it carry you into your twist. So if you had regular weights, this wouldn't work, but you can still get the twist and all the yummy stretch. And then go ahead and bring yourself back. Okay, we're going to leave the cans at the sides and then come to sitting with our feet out in front. Okay, and then bring your cans a little further back so they're accessible to you as you lie down. So we'll sit up nice and tall, hold on to the backs of our thighs, lift up through the chest, and just open up the front of the heart and lengthen through the spine, feeling into the muscles that help keep you there. So imagining your arms weren't there to support you anymore. How are you staying upright? Your arms are there, so use them, pull your shoulders back, but imagining again that you were on your own, just using your abdominals and the muscles close to the spine. And then take your arms forward, take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, we'll curl the tail under and roll all the way down. Walk your feet in a little closer, and then just take your hands to your pelvis in the front. We'll do just a little bit of clocking to 12 and 6 to sort of affirm our understanding and our sensation of feeling into that part of our body. Just because you've done something before doesn't mean that you're in touch with it now, right? So you're kind of bringing your consciousness into your body, into these places that we don't always dwell. So when you get to 12 o'clock next day, so your low back is flattened into the mat, and then you're going to roll around the clock over towards 3, down and around to 6, over to 9, and back to 12. Keep going in that direction and just flow through it, finding each hour, each minute on the clock, and kind of savoring all the goodness. And then reverse your direction. And notice where you move well And notice where you find a little less movement, if there's any of that. And then come back to the center. And then we're going to take our right leg out long and bring our left leg into our chest. Hold on to that knee. So staying here with this position, reach to that right heel. We're going to draw the shoulders back and curl up with the upper body, using that left leg as an assist. The knee pushes into our hands. And then reaching through that right heel, you've got the stretching of the hip flexors in your attention. And then what we're going to add to it is the left sit bone trying to draw down towards your right ankle, and your right as is trying to kind of connect upward towards your ribs. So you know this one, we do it often. It's one of my favorite stretches and ways of accessing our low abdominals. So we're here to find that heat in our lower abdominal engine. And breathe, pushing out through the heel. Drop your right thigh bone towards the mat, asking for even more length to the psoas. Shoulders open, head sort of easeful on top of the neck, and then lower back down. And then we'll take the left knee to the mat, and again adjust so that you feel that levelness to your hips. Hands to the back of the head. We'll curl up with the upper body. From here, sink the low belly, sink the low back, tip the pelvis to float the right heel off the mat just an inch, and then point the toes. Take another breath, and on the exhale, curl a little higher as you reach your arms long by your sides. Find your cans, and we're going to go, let's do palms up into our hundreds. Your cans can be still or moving. And what we're going for is stability in the pelvis, reaching that left sit bone down towards the right ankle, sinking the low waist into the mat, pressing the right thigh towards the mat as you sink the low back into the mat. And then take your leg down, your arms down, your head down, and rest. You can leave your cans there, and then take your hands around to the back of the head once again. And again, curl up with the upper body. See if you can deepen all of those connections. Slurp that right thigh bone into the hip socket. Drop the left sit bone towards the right ankle. Float the right heel. And then we're going to pull the right knee in and then reach it long. Inhale in. Exhale. Stretch long and low. This time, rotate towards your bent knee as it comes in and out. And reach. And stretch. And curl in. And stretch one more time. And reach and lower down. So that should have you feeling quite awake in your abdominals, especially on that right lower quadrant. And then bring yourself back in. Let's take your left leg out long. Draw your right knee into your chest. Hold on to the top of the shin. And then nod the chin. And curl up with the upper body. Reach through the left heel this time. Pull the right sit bone down towards that same heel. As you're doing the reach out through the heel, see if you can also feel like your abdominals and your inner thighs kind of draw the thigh bone deeper into the hip socket. So your hips aren't going into a tilt. And then hold and breathe. Melt your left thigh down into the mat. And then go ahead and lower back down. Okay? And then take your hands to the back of your mat as you set your right foot down. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, curl up with the upper body. Bring the right sit bone down towards your heel. Slurp the thigh bone into the mat or into the hip and tip the pelvis to float the heel. And then add a pointed toe. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, curl a little higher. Reach your arms long. Cans or no cans. Palms down this time. Press your low waist into the mat. Stretch the leg long. Press your left thigh towards the earth. Reach your right sit bone towards the opposite heel. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the cans, lower the head, and lower the leg. You might roll your head gently side to side. And then take your hands to the back of the head once more. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Curl up with the upper body.
Tip the pelvis, scoop the belly, float the leg. And then inhale, draw the knee in. Exhale, stretch it out. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, stretch it out, but don't let reaching the leg pull your right hip up towards your armpit. So stretch your right sit bone down towards your left big toe. And one more like that, and then we add our twist. We rotate and center and twist and stretch and spiral and stretch 2 more and lengthen 1 more. Stretch it out, lower it down, and rest. Okay, bring your hands into your hands and then place your feet in parallel. We're going to start with a neutral bridge. So your abdominals are engaged and you're going to feel as though you're going into an ab curl as you start. So just see if you can feel like your ribs start to sink. And then as the ribs sink, you simply press into your heels and send the hips up to the sky. And then as you're ready, you're going to bring the ribs down just like you would in an ab curl, and also bring your sit bones to the earth. So again, it's kind of this constant with the ribs. Ribs down, hips up, ribs down, sit bones down. We'll do that a couple more times, just like that. And then one more, coming all the way up. Now we're going to reach with our arms, holding the hands up to the sky, and then turn your palms in towards one another. We're going to inhale, lower everything, opening the arms wide. Exhale, press, hands come together. Open to lower, and lift to close. Keep the shoulders opening. Even as the hands come together, drop the shoulders into the mat. So keep the shoulders back so we don't close off the chest. And 2 more. And 1 more. Pause here, turn your palms forward towards your knees, and you're going to lower your left arm towards the hips or right arm overhead, and then switch. Dropping the shoulders onto the mat, keeping your arms long, only going as far as your shoulders feel comfortable. And then pause when your right arm is by your side next. Left arm is overhead, and you're going to spin your right hip forward. And then switch your arms, switch your hips. Left arm by your side, left hip to the sky, and switch. And switch. And we'll just go like that for a couple more reps. It's kind of like you're walking. There's this arm swing and a hip swing. And then we'll do it last time, left hip high. And then bring your hips level, both arms overhead. Heavy hands, heavy arms, heavy spine as we roll back down. Okay, and then bring your arms back by your sides. Bring your legs into your chest. Give them a quick squeeze, hands free. And then we're going to take our hands and hold those cans. So you're going to start with the arms, reaching them up to the sky. Let them float back. As you exhale, reach them forward, nod the chin and curl up with the upper body. You're going to inhale here, and on the exhale, lower your left foot towards the mat, bring it up. And right foot, bring it up. And left. And now with your cans, palms down, kind of like the handlebars on motorcycles. See if you can kind of rev your engines on both hands to curl a little higher. And last one each side. And then knees up, head and shoulders down. Arms reach up to the sky and back. And then do a big circle around your center. And circle overhead, if you have room. And one more time, overhead, hold there. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, what we're going to do is curl up to the right. You're going to bring both hands to the outside of the right thigh. So you're going to curl up and reach and slide back to the start. And then knees go to the opposite side, knees go right, cans go left. And back, and back, and so we're alternating, and the knees are swaying. And then land at the back. Leave your left can, actually we'll do your right. Set your right can down. Bring your right hand to the back of your head. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to curl up and twist. The knees go left. The left hand comes across the body holding that can. Breathe in on the exhale. We're just going to scoop and try to reach a little deeper. Try to bring the can and your left shoulder, your left rib cage around to the front as you twist. And we go for 3, and 2, and 1, and then lower down. So we'll switch sides. You'll take your right can in your hand, left hand behind the head, and then stretch up and turn to the left as your knees go a little bit to the right. And then it's simply a wringing out of your waist to get you a little deeper into your twist. Bring you a little more power to your obliques. And reaching across your body, bring the right rib cage around. And last 3, and 2, and 1, and then lower down. Okay, find all these canned goods and bring them around to the lower end of your back. We're gonna just rock and roll up briefly to reset, and then you're gonna position your cans together under your feet where they would be for bridging. Okay, so you're going to guesstimate the location and then lower back down, and then walk your feet onto the cans. So by putting them together, your feet are going to be closer together than parallel, than sit bone distance, and that's okay. And then we're just going to find our way into our neutral spine and take our hands to the back of our heads. From here, take a breath, and on the exhale, curl the tail under. And tail can curl under, but upper body is where we're really moving from. Find that upper abdominal curl. And then let's do that. Tip the pelvis towards 12 o'clock if it weren't already. And then you're just going to move the heels away and roll them back in. And roll out and back in. As the legs come in, as the heels come in, curl a little deeper. See if you can sink the ribs a little more. Sink the low back a little more. And last 3, and 2, and 1, and then lower down. Now step your left foot to the mat. Keep your right foot on the can. So your left foot goes to the outside of the can. So you're now a little wider than hip distance apart. And we'll just let the arms come down by your sides. You're going to start with a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, curl the tail under and peel up into a bridge. And then exhale, roll back down. Yummy, okay? And then we'll do that again 2 more times, peeling up, feeling into that right hamstring and glute, just a little extra, and roll back down. And 1 more, like that, peeling up, and rolling down. Now take your left foot, instead of to the side of the can, take it just in front of the left can so that it's a little further away from your hip. Right knee will be a little closer and higher. And then from there, same thing, scoop the belly, curl the tail under, peel up into your bridge. And exhale, roll back down. Keep the arms anchored into the mat, shoulders pressing back, peeling up, and rolling down. And 1 more time. Hold at the top. If you have it in you, you can move the roll the can towards you and away, and towards you and away. And 1 more like that. And then bring yourself down to the mat. Awesome job. Okay. We're going to attempt to switch sides. If your cans have lost their alignment, you can sit up and fix them. And then so to begin, it's left foot on the left can and right foot out to the right side of the pair. And then take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, curl the tail under, peeling up, and curl to roll back down. Use the back of your arms engaged into the mat to keep the shoulders open, the chest from being tight, and roll back down. One more time, peeling up. Melt, melt, melt your way back down. Take your right foot now to the front of the right can. Again, your knees will be a little high-low, and then take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, peel up, feel into both legs working in different ways, right? You've got glutes on both sides, and then roll back down. And again, soft shoulders, soft neck, and then peel back down. And one more time, rolling through, coming to the top. Hold there, breathe, and on the exhale, we'll roll the can in and out for 3, 2, and 1, and then roll your spine all the way back down. Awesome job. Okay, cans out of the way. They could stay, but I'm moving mine just to make it official. Take your hands to the back of your right thigh. Stretch your left leg long. Flex both feet. Point both feet. Reach your right sit bone towards your left heel. Keep ankle flexing and pointing. And then you're going to nod your chin and climb up that leg, maybe just to the thigh, maybe to the calf, and hold. See if you can bring that right sit bone towards your left big toe. Bring your left thigh deeper into the socket, leveling your hips. Pull with the arms, breathe in, exhale, switch, and switch, and switch. As the leg is coming towards you, keep that same side sit bone reaching towards the opposite big toe. Left sit bone towards right big toe, and switch. Keep going with the feet flexed. And reach. And then bring the left leg in and hold. Lower the right leg down, lower the head and shoulders down, bring your hands behind the thigh. Reach the left sit bone towards your right big toe. Point and flex both feet. Soften the shoulders. Lengthen the left side of your waist. And then let's bring your left ankle over your right knee and draw everything in to figure 4 stretch. Stay and breathe. Tip a little bit over to the right, just with the hips. And then center and switch. Right ankle over left. Keep breathing, releasing, softening. And don't forget to hydrate. Okay. So we're going to move to our side. Let's roll to our right side first. And you're going to take your bottom leg stretched a little bit forward of your hips and your top leg straight out in line with your spine. Okay, so everything from your head to your left heel is in line. And then you're going to lower and lift that leg, reaching through the heel, sending energy out through the heel, drawing your abdominals in and up. And then circle the leg, small circles about the size of your magic circle or your steering wheel. And then reverse your direction. Good. And then let it rest down. What we're going to do now is bend the top knee. And maybe the can is there, maybe not. But you can bring your top knee onto your can if it feels supportive. Just giving it a little bit of a lift. And we're going to lift and lower the bottom leg. That's really the main thing here. So your top knee can rest on the mat, on a can of beans, or on any other prop you have handy. And that straight bottom leg is moving, but your top hip is involved. Think about bringing this top hip towards your bottom ankle, just to keep this top waist lengthening, right? And then bring your leg up to the top and hold and do little pulses at the top, making sure those inner thighs really wake up. And then turn your knee up towards the sky on the straight leg and keep going, blending the inner thigh with your inner quads, and it's just a whole party going on in that upper inner thigh. Okay, lower down. Take both legs to straight. Take your top hand to the mat, palm down, and take your top hand, in this case left hand, to find one of your cans or one of your weights. We're going to lift the arm overhead, and then we're going to bring the arm towards our side body and then stretch the legs long to lift up. So bananas with the balance challenge and a weight challenge. Reach into your toes, side bend, come up, use that bottom arm, and lower down. And remember, it's not about lifting the head, it's about lengthening the head out from center and drawing the legs long as well. Side bending from your waist. And lengthen out. And good. And then bring yourself up and hold. Reach the top arm up and then reach the arm and leg together. So they're going to move apart and together. So you're balancing and adding a little leg lift at the top. Last two. Last one. And then lower down and stretch. We will roll to the other side. So I'm going to crawl so as I can see you. Bring a can with you. Set up so that your bottom foot's sort of forward as a kickstand. Your top arm is long. Your top leg is straight out in line with your spine, head to heel, and then we'll lift and lower. Reaching through that heel. Keep going, sending energy out, pulling energy into your center, pulling your ribs in, and then make some circles, steering wheel size circles, thoughtful from the hip socket, and then reverse your direction. Good. And then land it down. We'll bend the top knee and place it on the mat in front of us, whether it's up propped on a can or not, your call. And then you're going to stretch your bottom leg out straight and lift. Pull it back so it's in line too with the rest of your body and spine, so it's not out in front anymore. And you're going to just soften on the shoulders, deepen your core engagement, reach your top sit bone towards your bottom ankle. And then hold at the top and keep going, just pulsing upward. And stretch what's tight underneath. You know, you're working your inner thighs, but you're also pulling your IT band and your side of your hip into a stretch. It's not, you know, moving much, but it is a stretch. And then turn your kneecap up to the sky and keep going. Keep going. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest down. Both legs together. Okay, now for the balancing fun, find your soup can, take it to your top hand alongside your body. We will float the arm all the way overhead and then reach into the leg, side bend to come up and lower down. And repeat. If your arm is causing any strain in your neck going overhead, you can just take it a little bit away from the body and then right back into that position, okay? Always, and you can do this without the weight. The weight is just a little extra bonus. Doesn't make or break the exercise. Good. 2 more like that. Pulling the abdominals in. See if you can find that low hundreds position and then hold. And then lift the top arm up and then lift the top leg. So they come apart, they come together. Press into your bottom arm to help keep you lifted so it's not all coming from the neck. and lift. And 2 more. 1 more. And then lower down. Stretch and get long. Roll to your tummy. And bring the cans out in front of you. Bring your hands to the cans a little bit wider than your shoulders. Place the heels of your hands on the cans and then just shrug the shoulders up and down, using the cans to roll towards you and away like you would on the roller. And then from here, reach your legs long, point the toes, bring the tops of the feet heavy into the mat. Press your pubic bone down, press the front of your hips into the mat, and then start to press into the cans. Reach your heart forward and roll up into your sort of most comfortable happy swan, and then roll back down. And again, press your hips into the mat, draw your tail down to rise up. You can go any amount that feels good in your spine. Ask thoroughly throughout the whole movement, is everything feeling good, and only go so far as the answer is yes. So we'll do a couple more like that. And 1 more. And down. Now take your cans in hand and circle them around your body to the back so they're alongside your hips now. Let's do legs in a turnout, heels together, toes apart, hovering the forehead. You're going to press your hips into the mat, reach your hands a little bit away from the mat, stretch your shoulders back and heart forward. Lift your thighs. We're going to press the arms towards the sky, lifting the back of the arms, active, the shoulders rolling back, your abdominals lifting. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take your hands to the front of the mat and then press back into a child's pose. You can take your knees wide and rest your hips towards your heels. Walk your hands forward. Now bring your hands to those rolling cans again and let them roll away. And then round your spine, press into the cans, roll them in just a little bit so you're doming up through the spine, and then roll the cans away. Let your body flow and shift in whatever way feels good. Soft shoulders, roll through the spine, and in. 1 more time. And now take yourself back. Let's bring your hands to the mat and come up to seated. We're going to bring our legs out in front of us. And we now have a special treat for our calves. So you're going to set up just 1 can in front of you on its side. And you'll place your hands on the mat behind you. And you're going to let your calf rest on the can. So again, if you're using weights, this won't work as well, but you can grab a roller if you have one and use that instead, or even a pinky ball. But basically, you get the idea. You're going to roll the back of your calf. And a can is kind of perfectly suited for this because it rolls as well as a roller, but it's a little firmer, or a lot firmer, so it goes deeper and you get a little bit more sort of potency out of it than you might the roller. So sometimes the roller is just what you need, but when it's not enough, so try turning your leg out so you can roll the outside of your calf, turning your leg in, inner calf, and don't forget to check out that lower zone down near your Achilles, and sometimes it's really more in the upper that you'll find some interesting stuff. So be an explorer, right? So take your time, do that a few more moments, and we'll do it on the other side next, okay? So, my mat just really wandered on this last little bit. So let me straighten out, and then we'll take the other side. Does that feel good? Are we having a happy experience? Yeah. So this is great for your feet, as I think all of you know, our plantar fasciitis Our feet are connected to our calves, are connected to our hips. We've talked about that a good deal in many a class, but here's just a reminder that this is going to help bring wellness to your feet as well as up the chain into your hips. And man, is that tender. I think it's still a product of some summer sandals, the looser shoes, the flip-flops and stuff, and maybe even being barefoot on the wood floors a little bit more than I should. So lots to massage there. Okay, maybe you've got some more you would like to massage, but if you're ready to move on, set the cans out of the way and make our way to all fours. So setting up in all fours, bring your hands a little wider than your shoulders. And then we'll take the legs back one at a time into plank. You're going to step your left foot back and then your right. Snug the feet together for now. And then just hover your hips up and back, finding your downward dog. Feel your calves as they stretch into a little bit of running in place. Soften the shoulders. Hover the heart forward towards your hands. And then bring the hips forward into plank once more. And stay. Lift up out of the wrists. And we're going to rock forward and back from the feet. Point and flex. Point and flex. And then what we're going to do is hover the right foot up and point the left and then land. Rock forward, point on the right as we lift the left. And just keep going, alternating sides. Finding your rhythm. Last one, and then land your knees down and rest. Bring both hands over to one side. Pull back. Bring both hands over to the other side and pull back. And then come to the center, roll up. Bring the backs of your hands to the mat and just gently put a little bit of weight on them, stretching the wrists in the opposite direction. This is up to you how much weight you put on it. You can just do one at a time if it feels a little unsafe. We're both down. And then let's walk the hands forward again on the mat, a little bit out in front of your shoulders. And then step your knees a little bit apart and bring your toes to the mat tucked under, heels together. You're going to sort of crouch back like a cat ready to pounce. And then from here, you're going to stretch your legs out to straight, squeeze the buns, come forward into your plank. Bend the knees, come back. I need to put my hands a little further forward and do that again. So you're kind of blasting off into plank. Your knees can come down each time, but now that you know where you're going, you might keep the knees off and do this hovering version. Shoulders down. And 3 more. And 2. And 1. Hold there. Stretch your hips up and back. Find your downward dog. Still in a turnout. Heels together, toes apart. Stay there. Reach your right leg up to the sky. Stretch the leg as high as you can and lower it down. Stretch the left leg up. Reach it up. Touch the stars and lower it down. Keep the heels together. Walk your hands back towards your toes. Keep your heels off the mat if you can. And we're going to attempt to rise up. Now, heels can come down any moment you like. Knees can remain soft. You're going to hover the fingertips. Curl the tail under. Move slowly with mindfulness. Take your time. As you make your way up, take your arms up. Squeeze your heels together, squeeze your thighs together, and then lower the heels down and circle the arms by your sides. Let's step to the center of your mat and find your soup cans for one more little feel-good flow. Okay, so I'm going to turn to the side. What we're going to do is reach the arms up to the sky, Let your heart lift. And then exhale, bend the knees deeply. Let the arms come down and back. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, down and back. And you can have a little momentum here. Hold on tight to your weights so you don't accidentally fling them at your partner or out the window. And we'll do this a couple more times. Just kind of shaking off anything that's just stuck or stale. Last couple moments of class, making sure we let it all go, except those cans. And one more time, reach up, hold, circle the arms around your body to your sides, and then let's take the arms on our ceremonial circle to the top. We'll bring our hands and hearts, our hands together, and bring them down to rest here at our hearts. As always, thank you for joining me. I hope you had an awesome experience in class and that your body feels wonderful and strong. So join me again next time by subscribing to my channel. You'll get notified when new videos are uploaded, and you can follow me on Instagram at arwenbrook_Pilates for more info as well. Comment below and leave me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you and have a great day.